Okay, babies. Okay, babies. Good morning, guys. What? Okay. Give you your pets. I know you gotta get your morning pets. Can't hate it, can't argue with it. All right. Yeah. I'm gonna let your mamas in. Nom. Don't talk with food in your mouth. She's big as her mama. Good night. Okay, on that, we're going to talk about Mississippi and who we're going to breed her to and a little bit of why. And then I really want to start out with clearing up some things from yesterday's video. We're not out of the soap business. We're not done. Maybe I miscommunicated. I think I said we had 3 freezers. I know I said that. We had 3 freezers. We have a deep freeze and we had 2 upright freezers. Our second upright is half full and the deep freeze is, it's a deep freeze. It's massive. So, hi. Uh-oh. Hey, are you gonna do Kevin stuff? So we have milk and we're continuing to produce milk with milking 10 moms. So we do have milk. It's just gonna be a little blip. It's gonna be a slowdown. It's gonna be a recalculation, a double down of efforts, a pressing forward. We're not stopping, we're not slowing down, we're not even looking back, guys. Don't think that. The only factor will be how much soap we can produce for you guys. So don't think you bought the last soap you're ever gonna buy from us. We have plenty of soap in the racks waiting because I was gonna say we're a month out, but we're a month ahead of you guys. As far as you know, like all the soap in September has already been made. All the soap for September has already been made. Oh, don't go in there, sorry. I gotta double check to make sure Mama had her pain pills. I'll have to double check that because she didn't eat all of her food. So soap is made for September. Soap is starting to be made for October. And we're still producing milk via the ladies. Not very much because they're winding down. It's the end of the season. It's just going to be, we're not going to be able to put out as much soap as we were going to put out. We lost under half of our total milk supply. Now losing half of your milk supply is a pretty big hit. And that's where the recalculation, the doubling down of efforts, pushing harder, moving faster, being more efficient comes in. I don't know if I can do any of those things, but that's going to be the goal. Hi, what's going on? Do you possibly think the ladies are in heat? Is that what this meeting of the minds? I'm not counting you in that. Oh, you're pretty. Hi. What's this? Got a little wire sticking out there. That's no bueno. So, it's going to be a rainy, cool day. 75, cloudy and rainy. I'm not here for you to chew my, oh, you're so sticky. Ugh, they pee on their face and then all the water dries and it leaves behind all the impurities in the urine. And that dries to a sticky, dirty feel. You dirty. This is Mellow. I don't know, I might start calling you Pom Pom. You got a little pom pom on top of your head. You dork. Now, I wish Mellow was a blue-eyed boy, but he's not. But Mellow is a brown-eyed boy. He is horned. Hi, Jack. You're looking dumpy and frumpy. I just checked his eyes last night. I see your smile. Can you guys see his smile? So, Mr. Mellow, aka Mellow, aka... no. His name is actually Ziomar. And we named him Caramello because of our dessert theme. We only, now you guys, some of you guys are going to say, well, you didn't give everybody a dessert name. Now in the spring, when we name babies, we just give them names. If we plan to keep them, then we'll change their name to whatever their name is going to be. So we changed his name to Caramello, and I just call him Mello because he's so freaking chill. Like Marlin, if we were to keep Marlin, we would find some dessert name to give him. But Mello is brown-eyed and horned. And as you guys know, we do not breed polled to polled because of studies that have shown some genetic defect possibilities. One of those being hermaphroditism, where they could be born with both sexual organs. So we just don't play with that. We breed horned to polled and hope that we get at a higher percentage of polled babies, so we don't have to disbud. Disbudding sucks. And we breed for blue eyes because blue eyes is actually dominant in goats. And obviously we think all of our dairy lines are good, so we breed for dairy. Now what I've been looking at is I really want to breed towards bigger teated does. I think it's starting to rain. We are back. It is raining. It's fall in Ohio. This could just be every single day. Who knows? We haven't had rain in quite a while though. So this will be really good. It's gonna be a little more difficult to hear me. So, well, let's talk about who we're breeding. We're gonna breed Mississippi. And the reason I showed you Mellow is because we're gonna breed Mississippi to Mellow. Yes, you. Hi, good morning. What? So she is blue-eyed and she is polled, meaning she was born with no horns. And since we're looking for goats with no horns, hold on a second. So a couple of things. You guys know that we bought our bucks specifically. We bought Snickers because he's gold, and gold is the most dominant color in Nigerian dwarfs. Meaning if you have a gold buck, you're probably going to get some gold babies in there. We bought the black and white boys. Technically, I'm not going to try to get too deep into this because I do it every time. Technically, they're black and black only, and white does not exist. If you want to learn about it, go to a website. It's called Nigerian Dwarf Color page. Actually, I'll just put the link in the bottom of this video and you guys can click on that and you can read about all the patterns, all the colors, all the genetics and why they work and why they don't, and lobes, and it's a wealth of information. And you can understand why white is not considered a color. So technically, if you take all the white off of a goat, if you took all the white off of Mississippi, she would be a buckskin, and she would look, where is she? She would look very similar to Sugar Pie, right there. Sugar Pie is a buckskin, black head, black cape, different color body on the way back. If you took all her white off, she would be full black down to there with some tan, and she would be tan in the back and or gold. Cream. Gold is a variation. It's everything from just off-white to dark gold. This little girl, if she didn't have all this white making her color so beautiful, she would also be a buckskin. So keep that in mind when you're looking at a goat. When I'm telling you that white doesn't exist, if you remove all the white, that's what you get. She would be considered a dark buckskin. And then you can get some crossing patterns. I love the way that her black comes out on her back leg back here. She has this little whip right here and then that little stripe of brown. That's super cute. I mean, she's just got it all. Gorgeous. She's got $sign on her side. She's got a broken heart on her other side. So back to the black bucks. Why we have Mellow and why we have Jack is because a black goat must have and can only have 2 black genes, which means that black goat is only going to pass black. Now white doesn't play, doesn't count. White does what it wants. Could be white all over, could be half white, could be spotted, could be a variation of things. Do not confuse white with roaning. Roaning can be any color. Our roaned goats just happen to have the white roaning. And roaning is this ticking of color inside of another color. So, Mooney, you're my best example. Can I touch you? You're such a weenie. See, she was always like this with me. And then when she kidded, and while she had Gizmo, we were buddies. And then when we weaned her off of Gizmo, we weaned Gizmo off of her. I guess it's the same. She slowly reverted back to this, like, don't touch me goat. Oh, yeah. Oh, there's biting going. Oh, don't bite. Please don't bite. So now you guys know that she's a buckskin, so she looks like sugar pie. Now you know that she should really have some brown striping here, some black. This is called a cape. And as a buckskin ages, this cape can just continue to grow all the way down, and she could become a full black goat, but she would still be a buckskin. So the cape can extend. And there are all varieties of, she could be born with a fully extended cape, making it more difficult to decide what she is. So since we're going to breed her to Mellow, he can only pass black. But what we're doing is taking her pattern and we're just trying to get her pattern. That's why we have the black boys. So the black boys aren't throwing anything. And since we like the way our goats look, we like the chamoisé, we like the gold, we like the Couclairs. Another Couclair. She's a Swiss. She got her daddy's gene, so she's Jack. Her mom is black. So mom can only throw a black gene. And now you get into complications where you have patterns versus colors. I'm not even gonna dabble in that. Patterns can override basically everything. So mama can only pass black. Jack is actually a Swiss buck, but he looks black, but he does carry Swiss, which is a pattern. And then you end up with a perfect little black Swiss doe like Tootsie. This is all way more complicated than I want to try to explain. It's in my head bouncing around somewhere. Well, why are you back there? We'll get out of there. Come on. Guys, get down, get down. Come on, Toots. Toots, Toots. Go under. Freaky goats, man. These babies in heat are going to be the death of me. They should be coming out today because I think all of them were in heat the last 2 days, and it's usually about 3 days that they're in heat. And then it'll be another 21 days before they come back into heat. But oh my goodness. So I said all of that, and I know I've probably confused the crap out of all of you, and that's why I want you to go to the Nigerian Dwarf color page, and I want you to just, if you want to, just educate yourself there. Just read down through. You can scroll down. It'll show you the pattern. If you continue to scroll down to the bottom of that page, it'll put each pattern in its own. At the top of the page, it's going to show you all the patterns that exist. kind of. It'll show you the main patterns that exist. And if you scroll down to the bottom of the page, it will dive into each pattern, why it exists, what it is, what it looks like. It'll explain white, it'll explain roaning, it'll explain silver. There's eye charts on that page to tell you if you breed a brown-eyed goat and a blue-eyed goat, you're going to get this color. If you breed blue and blue, you're going to get this color eyes and all that kind of stuff. It will explain white. If you took, okay, so here's an example. This is a perfect example of white. Muffin and Puddin' and Snickers are gold goats. If you took all the white off of her, her entire body would be this color. She is a pure gold. Muffin is the extreme. She is also a gold goat, but she just has more white. This would be abundant white, whereas Puddin' would be minimal white. And that's pretty much it. So we're gonna breed Mississippi to Mellow. I think we've decided that. Somebody reached out to me and said that Danelle just did her video about what and when to breed babies. And she said, Danelle said 50 pounds. And I can't remember, she said 4 or 4.5 inches at the thoroughbones. I've always heard like roughly 80%. I couldn't remember that yesterday. 80% of their adult weight. That's just the way we have always done it. I love Danelle. You guys know full respect for Danelle, and if that's what she's pushing, then that's her standards. We have always bred at now. When I say 3.5 inches at the I mean a minimum of. I don't mean just at. I want it to be past the width of my finger. She probably is easily. That's 3.5 right there, and I got another inch to her throat. So she's probably at 4.5. I don't have a tape measure with me to do the full measure, but she's at least an inch past. So she's probably at least 4.5 inches. And I haven't weighed her yet, and I can't do it now because I let all the goobers out, and they'll all want to get up on the scale. But we'll do that. We have some time because we're not going to be breeding until probably late October, early November, maybe mid to late October. Because winters are just unpredictable in the spring around here, when spring's coming in like March, we tend to have another really harsh cold blast somewhere at the beginning to mid-April. So we kind of try to breed later, just so we don't have babies freeze to death. That is not a thing you want to do. It's terrible. So we kind of breed later in the year than most people. That's just what we choose to do. And so we have probably a month and a half. She's going to continue to put on weight, put on size for the next month and a half, easily. And then once she is bred, if we decide to breed her, she's going to have an additional 5 months before the babies are born to put on more size and more weight. So I would feel okay breeding her in a month and a half, no problems. Tootsie, we're kind of in a debate on. We'll just keep a really good eye on her. And I will cover Tootsie tomorrow, who we would breed her to if we were going to. And then we can just keep going down the line. There's really no chance that Twink or Drummy are going to get bred this fall. Given her size, they might not even make the spring breeding next year. And as you guys know, this is the first year that we have done a fall breeding. And we're gonna continue to do that. That's gonna allow us to give some of our girls a break. I think Puddin' and Muffin are on their 3rd year. This was their 3rd year of kidding, so it'd be nice if we can just set them out for the fall breeding and just breed them in the spring. Also, with the increase in the soap business, we want to have milk coming in all year round. So Cookie is clearly in heat. Daggone it. Okay, I was only about 5% hopeful that she was actually bred. Well, I was 100% hopeful. I was thinking there was about a 5% chance that it actually took. She's clearly in heat. This is when everybody calms down and the heat is on, this is what it looks like. It's a giant love fest of goats just rubbing on other goats. Got me trying to tear my knee off. Now this is the kind of teat I want to kind of get to, as I talked about a little bit earlier. They look all saggy and baggy right now, but Sugar Pie has, this whole thing will just explode, and she has a teat about that big and about that big around. Whereas the rest of these girls, if you look at Sum, she's got this little tiny teat. And she is a freaking Ferrari when it comes to milking. And no joke. Her teat orifices are huge. So you grab that teat and you squeeze and it just, a crazy amount of milk comes out. And she carries a huge amount of milk around with her. So that's what I want to kind of breed towards, is bigger teats, higher production, obviously. But that being said, we are going to actually sit some girls out this fall, give them a break in some of our newer girls, let them carry the load this fall, have the spring babies, and then we'll get the other girls back in the breeding cycle in the spring or next fall. Just depends on what we're going to do, probably in the spring. And then we'll start introducing, obviously, the new girls, the babes, into that cycle. We're pretty much going to cut the herd about in half. I think we're at 19 does, so we're going to breed 7 or 8 in the fall, and then the other 8 or 9 in the spring. So we're just going to kind of do it that way. But that is it. So Mississippi will be in the breeding program for the fall, most likely. I'm saying yes now, but obviously we're never going to breed her if she is not ready or we don't feel like she's ready. So, yeah, hi. Hi, you. So Mississippi Mellow Baby's coming hard. And why are you eating the thing? It's not a thing to eat.